All right, so I just wanted to do a quick review for your quiz before you all take it today. And so this is the worksheet you all worked on Thursday. And so the first thing we want to do on number 1A is find the sign of T. So don't forget, SOHCAHTOA, you need it on every single question on your test today, or your quiz. And so sine is the so part of SOHCAHTOA. And for sine, we're going to do the opposite over the hypotenuse. So we need to go to angle T. The side opposite of angle T is 7, and then hypotenuse is 25. So the longest side is always the hypotenuse, and it is opposite of the right angle. All right, so all we have to do is do the opposite length over the hypotenuse length, and then you're done. All right, for part C, this time we want the tangent of angle C. So we're going to use a different angle on this one. And for the tangent, it's the TOA part of SOHCAHTOA. And so we're going to do the opposite over the adjacent. So here's angle C. This is the side opposite. And then this is the side adjacent. So if you remember the song Getting Tricky with It, for tangent, he sings like, no hypotenuse, all goofy. And so whenever you're doing tangent, you are not going to use the hypotenuse. We're going to use the opposite over the adjacent. And so that is going to be 24 over 7. Right? And then for the cosine of C, we're going to go to angle C again, and we're going to do the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now, when we were doing the trash go ball, someone was like, so opposite and adjacent changes from angle to angle, and that's 100% true. And so with T, the opposite is 7, but if we're looking at C, the adjacent is 7. It changes from problem to problem depending on what angle you're focusing on. Okay, and then let's look at number 2. So for number 2, we have this right triangle, and we want to solve for x. All right, so this is the angle we know, so that has to be the one we use. We can't use any other angle. It doesn't, I'm not sure why there's a B there, it doesn't matter. So all we care about here is 30 degrees. And so if this is our angle, 5 is opposite of that angle, and x is the hypotenuse. All right, and so when we have opposite and hypotenuse, that is going to be the so part of SOHCAHTOA. And so you have to set up a little equation that is the sine of that angle is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. All right, and then what you do next all depends on if x is high or if x is low. So in this situation, x is low. So when x is low, you're going to switch, you know. And so we're going to take this whole sine of 30 degrees, and we're going to switch it with the x. And so x is going to equal to 5 over the sine of 30 degrees. All right, I'm going to pull up a calculator real quick. Kind of quick. Okay. So it is important that your calculator is in degrees. Now your quiz will be multiple choice, so hopefully you'll know the choice isn't there. It's wrong. But my AP students have probably been using these calculators today. And so if radian is darkened, make sure you change it to degree. All right, and then we're just going to, you can do a little fraction guy if you want to, and do 5 over the sine of 30. And that is just going to be 10. So make sure, if you have your calculator right now, make sure that it is in degrees. Okay, then on part B, we know this angle here is 48, so we have to use that angle. And this is the side opposite of 48 degrees, and this is the side adjacent. There is no hypotenuse, so that means we need to do TOA. We need to do tangent. The tangent of the angle is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Sorry, it's going to be 5. All right, so in this situation, the variable is up high, and when the variable is up high, you're going to multiply. So x is going to be equal to 5 times the tangent of 48 degrees. That's like Stan. All right. So that means that x is going to be about 5.5. All right. And then this very last one, we're finding the angle. So on the getting tricky with it, it says it's angle finding time. So when it's angle finding time, your x, or whatever the angle is, sometimes it's theta, and we're going to use the inverse trig functions. So it's always the sine to the -1, or cosine to the -1, or tangent to the -1. So we have to figure out which one of those is going to be. And so this is the angle we want. This side is the adjacent side. And then 134 is the hypotenuse. And I always know it's the hypotenuse because it's opposite of the right angle. And so when I have adjacent and hypotenuse, that's the ka part of SOHCAHTOA. So it's going to be the inverse cosine, since we're looking for the angle, of the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So inverse cosine, you use second cosine. All right, so I get that that angle is about 35.57 degrees. All right, so good luck on your quiz. Please do not cheat. Just do what you know. You all can do this. You can do this without cheating. I'll see you all on Monday.